Hey everybody, welcome back to What Elon Said. This is Kevin, that's Mark. Today is April 6th, 2022. It's a Wednesday, and today we have lots of comments about Elon's new role on the Twitter board. We've got FSD progress updates, and we have some potentially bad news for the state of California. So let's get into it and see what Elon said. Okay, today we start with some comments from Jack Dorsey saying that he is really happy that Elon's joining the Twitter board, cares deeply about our world and Twitter's role in it. Parag and Elon both lead with their hearts and they will be an incredible team. And Elon thanked them for the kind words. So we talked a lot about this yesterday, and it seemed like there was a mostly flood of support in regards to his new stance on Twitter, I guess, and his new position there on the board. So I know you talked yesterday about how we think that some of this progress will take a while for what Elon wants to accomplish there. But what do you think? It seems like he's already after it.
Yeah, it seems like, in thinking about it more since yesterday, definitely with the Twitter's president, CEO on board with them, definitely Jack's endorsement here and excitement will help, even though he's a little outside the company now. That I think that change will probably happen faster, and maybe Elon will push for Elon time. So we'll see a little acceleration of changes, especially his tweet about the edit poll was the first thing he put up. So even if there's that change and there's positive reaction just from that change, I think that will show momentum and allow Elon to have even more impact. I think you're right that it might be faster based on what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the news about the edit button. Well, I believe that's here or being tested now or rolling out.
Yeah, on the way. We'll see.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe it's not as good as what everybody wants it to be. I know myself, I had second thoughts about it. Initially, my first reaction was, yeah, we need an edit button. But upon further reflection, I thought about what I really like about Twitter, which to me is like a giant text stream for the world. And when you're texting with people, you're not able to edit those. And
That's
so
true.
I know people are prone to typos, but there's always we can always proofread our texts before we send them. So I think it's part of the charm of Twitter, and I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about it all.
Yeah, I know yesterday there was one piece of feedback that Elon said that's a good thing to consider is and maybe you can edit just for the first couple of minutes or minute or
Right.
so, and then after that, sorry, after that, you it's locked. So it's sort of a chance to correct the grammar versus
Yeah.
delete something you accidentally said,
Yes.
and you're embarrassed about later.
Yeah. There's still that opportunity, but yeah, like a couple minutes to 5 minutes somewhere in there, just
Yeah,
to re-glance at your text. Although I feel like if people aren't glancing at them before they hit send, they're probably not glancing at them 5 to 10 minutes in.
that
But
is true.
who knows? I
Who
know it's
knows?
been on the topic of Twitterers, on the top of mind for Twitterers for a long time. So, um, wow, we digressed into the edit button, but this was
Yeah,
really just some
somehow.
kind words from Jack Dorsey, who we
That's right.
know was the founder of Twitter. So that's cool. And he also said some things here, right? I don't know if you want to read them all or just
Yeah, this
paraphrase.
was someone posted what Jack Dorsey said in 2019 in Rolling Stone about Elon, showing that they've, just his respect for him. This is not just something that happened. So they said, what do you make of Elon Musk? And Jack said, the folks who are leading the way are folks like Elon. I don't know of another person on the planet who's leading us off the planet because of the damage that we're inflicting on the planet. Also, the AI is coming up in the future. Who else is leading the community towards Mars in order to save it? those are the conservations we use to have. I'm totally messing this up, but we're not having.
Conversations,
So
yeah.
yeah, boy, I know how to do that one. So he's painting him a good light for his aspirations. And I asked him about the critics. I mean, he basically said that the critics are ridiculous, that Elon is like an artist, and he asked producers. Jack asked a producer, like, what do you love about music? And he said, I actually can't play music, and I just respect all of the artists in the world, and I want to support them. And Jack feels the same way about Elon, that he feels Elon's an artist, and he would do
Yeah.
anything to support him.
Yeah. No, it's probably a conversation that people like you and I are just used to having, where it starts to seep out that we're pretty passionate about just Elon, his mentality, his worldview, and the companies that he's running. And people, quite a large number of people, have a very adverse reaction to him. But I tend to agree with Jack here that he's more misunderstood and an artist as much as he is an engineer and scientist. Really,
A Renaissance man.
that's right.
Yes.
Cool. So we got Lex Friedman here also joining in, saying that Elon joining the board is a great thing for Twitter and for free speech. We know that Lex has been outspoken about that before, his support of free speech. And there are many major improvements to Twitter I'd love to see. I tend to believe it has to be built from scratch, but perhaps not. I hope to help in whatever way is most useful. So lending a hand here, or offering his hand if needed.
Yeah, it seems like he was hoping that Elon would just start a new one,
Mm.
but that's not the direction we went so far at the moment. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't know that a new one would have worked, even if it is Elon. But
I agree.
to get the reach and the established network effects that Twitter already has, it took time to get to the place that they're at. And I don't know that starting from scratch, uh, it would take a while. Take a lot longer than I think the speed he wants to move at.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to improve the algorithm and improve free speech. So, but the core platform works,
Yep.
and it has everyone's on it. Yeah, here we said, so just going along more, a couple of more Twitter things. So this is the big news out there. Mark Anderson just posted something from the Washington Post that it's just funny that Washington Post says Elon Musk's Twitter investment could be bad news for free speech. Total opposite end. And then Elon said, Washington Post, always good for a laugh, that they, and it's sort of Elon, it's Jeff Bezos's platform, but they're saying he said he's going in there for free speech, and they're saying that it's bad for free speech.
It seems like, are we sure that this wasn't written by or funded by Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders?
That's right.
like let's just look at the first line in it, because when you're the world's richest man, you can toss billions around like poker chips. That just starts the conversation off wrong,
Yes, yeah, that is definitely not the conversation.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's their take on it. Interesting.
That's right.
Of course, we
That's
all
right.
know that paper is owned by Jeff Bezos. So I don't know how much he improves
I
articles
don't know.
that are put out, but wonder if he had a hand in that one.
Here we have Matthew Iglesias. He is one of the co-founders with Ezra Klein of Vox News. Left, both him and Ezra have left. He's sometimes controversial, but really more mainstream, in my opinion. And Elon just liked it. He said that Elon Musk is good. So this is like, some people like, this is bad, like the Washington Post. He's saying that it's good. And also there's been some Twitter employees, which we'll get to, that have felt this might not be good. But let's see what else, who else have said things.
Scott Adams here, author of the Dilbert comic, right? Wait until Elon Musk starts looking under the hood at Twitter and finds out how the algorithm works. That's coming, and it's going to be glorious.
Yes.
Maybe
I
he's
thought it
had
was
issues in the past as well with his feed or who he's
he
reaching.
definitely has had issues, and he's a very controversial figure out there right now. He pushes the envelope. Um, Scott Adams have a lot of people do not like Scott Adams, but he has a lot of avid fans, and it's interesting that Elon liked it because he has been at the crossroads of being censored by Twitter and had his account shut down a number of times.
Hmm. Really? I know that they've engaged a little bit before in the past, so I just took it as that, but didn't know about all the controversy with. I mean, I've seen some of his tweets before, and you know that they can cause quite a stir in the comments section.
Yes,
But
yes,
yeah, it'll be interesting.
mm-hmm.
I like the way he phrases that though, looking under the hood
Yes.
at the algorithm.
That's very good.
It's a good way of putting it. All right, you know her?
I don't know her, but I know she definitely is that Substack. So I'm not sure if she is. She's definitely an executive there. I don't know much about Substack in terms of executives, but Substack is the new big newsletter platform that a lot of free thinking journalists or journalists frustrated with the mainstream have been joining.
I
So
like
she is saying that
Medium.
not Medium, it's Substack. It's a newsletter platform.
Okay.
So they send out newsletters and you subscribe either for pay or free. It's excellent, excellent platform. And Barry Weiss is probably the biggest person that left the New York Times to join that and has a huge following now. But either way,
Yeah.
she said that Substack is hiring. If you're a Twitter employee who's considering resigning because you're worried about Elon Musk pushing for less regulated speech, please do not come work here. So this is about a number of Twitter employees who have expressed angst and frustration and horror that Elon is coming in and taking over. Elon liked this tweet, and I think the next tweet is a follow-up to this
Yeah.
by Shibatoshi Nakamoto, who's saying for employees who are considering resigning from Twitter in protest because a new board member who wants the platform to be better, uphold free speech, joined, do it. You should resign. You're literally the problem. Then cry about it on Twitter, which will allow you to do so. So a lot of
Bringing it back.
seems like there's a war brewing by a lot of people, and
Yeah.
ironically, the war is brewing on Twitter. So
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of is when he hosted SNL and some of the cast members had an issue with that.
you're right. It's very much like that,
Yeah,
where he's polarizing figure. It's very interesting.
he is. All right, so moving on. Let's say that lots of commentary. Those were the highlights. Those are some of the tweets that he engaged with about it, but lots of folks had something to say about him joining the board and his new
Yes.
stake in Twitter. But here we have a article posted by Will Marshall, super paper on how to reduce misinformation online. In in short, folks share links even if inaccurate when it concords with their politics. But this is reduced a lot if primed to think on accuracy. Important nuances for new directors to consider, Elon. And posted the article from nature.com. I jumped into the article. It is your typical nature.com article, very lengthy and detailed.
Yes.
Was looking for the summary, but Will just basically gave it to us here. And I guess just the gist is if you are just trying to, push facts out about that support your own stance on something, then you tend to link to articles. Is that right? And then if just
Yeah,
seeking accuracy, not so much.
that's right. And I think it's showing Elon liked it because it's showing that there might be ways to put in the algorithm or even outside of that in the platform of ways to verify accuracy or ensure people understand the accuracy of an article. I don't know how that will be done, but I think it's just more line of this is the thinking that will go into changing and improving Twitter.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, I know they posted during COVID the there were a few different, I guess, caveats that they would put up. One about learn more about COVID-19, and another
Mhm.
one was about um, this topic can get heated. You remember this? Did you ever see those?
Yes, I
I
do
don't know
remember
that those are
that.
still
Yeah,
there, but
I don't
some
know.
things, sometimes things are tested on Twitter and then removed. But
Yeah,
this conversation can get a little heated. Let's all be nice to each other, something
yeah,
along those lines.
that's right. That's right.
Um, so yeah, I don't know how much Elon thinks about and prioritizes, online bullying and how that will be handled within
Yeah.
Twitter. I'd be really interested to know, like, okay, what are your top 5 things that you want to accomplish and see progress on Twitter?
That's right. That's right. And what will we see versus the minor issues down the line?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, you want to take this one, Wheelie Man?
Sure. Yeah. So this one, there was another post from someone about the latest release of Full Self Driving. They took just love the drive, and there were 0 interventions on this one for them going home, which is always great news. Elon responded, which he's done many times in the past, about the next iteration, saying 10.12, the next level, will significantly improve unprotected left turns. So I think that has been a complaint um, in the past about the turn. So that's very good. Notice he doesn't say solve, but it just says significantly improve.
Mhm.
So that's still an issue that will be ongoing. But then he gave an additional comment saying, which I found interesting in a way, that increasingly it is increasingly likely that Tesla vehicle computer will be able to process 288 frames per second, which is incredible. So, I mean, when we watch a movie, or the human eye it accommodates, I think, 32 frames per second when we watch a movie. That's how many, to make it seem real time. So, it sounds like that the full self-driving computer in the car, in the vehicle, is much more, it can think much better than a human in terms of vision at this point, substantially better at 288 frames per second,
Right.
and comprehend it.
Not to mention 8 cameras
That's right.
and massive neural networks to crunch the data. But it
That's
is
right.
fascinating, right? This is coming back to what we've mentioned before, that it's when you really uh, fully consider what is occurring while you're driving a car, which is a very large piece of equipment moving rather fast that can easily hurt or kill people or any other living thing for that matter. But just how powerful, really, it makes me appreciate the human brain more and the system um, that captures data and feeds the brain, and then how the brain moves limbs to adjust to its surroundings. It's
Yes.
just wow. And basically they are having to replicate that uh, with
Amazing.
FSD.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just replicate it and vastly improve it. It's
Yes.
crazy.
Yep.
So again, we'll see what the next level is like with 10.12.
Yeah, but he does seem to be getting a little more nuanced with his wording. Not
Yes.
always. It'll be solved by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It'll be significantly better than a human by the end of the year.
That's right. That's right. Not all in.
Yeah. Solving is
So what do we have?
a dicey word there. Okay, so here we have a tweet from Mark Andreessen, frequent interlocutor with Elon. And he says that 40% of California's small businesses died in the last 2 years. And then links to another Twitter account and shows a graph here of just the descending small businesses that has shrunk by 40% in California. And Elon says, yikes.
Yeah.
Now, Mark did, since posting that, delete the tweet. So I'm not sure if I don't know why, but
I don't know.
still, not doesn't seem like great news for California. And we know that Elon and Tesla have moved out of California and shifted over to Texas. are many reasons for that, but I think part of it was just the politics of California, and there seem to be other people taking those actions too. Maybe.
Yes, significant for at least for a larger business like his. It was significant regulations that were put into place that were not required in Texas that he moved to, and that might be the same issue with the smaller businesses as well, that they just are regulated out of being able to keep open.
Yep. But I don't know. Maybe this graph needs some context.
Yeah.
It obviously took a major fall off a cliff there from COVID, and it's kind of flat, but moving in the wrong direction. So
yes.
All right. You can take this one here.
Massimo. So we have another just ongoing points that Elon wants to respond to on solar power. So, this is noting that the amount of energy that all humans and industry use annually is the equivalent of the solar energy that radiates the earth every 90 minutes. So just huge amounts of energy coming. It's just kind of hard to capture it all when it's around the whole earth. But Elon said that the power used by humans is so teeny compared to how much power the sun reaches the earth. So he's saying that the entire United States can be powered by a small corner of Texas. I mean, he's made these comparisons before.
Yeah.
And I think that because he is repeatedly doing this drumbeat about the small corner patch being done, that he will eventually just do it. Yeah. And that there will be a patch of land he will purchase somehow and build this mega array. Mm-hmm. I guess what I feel is the part that's holding him back is the ability at the moment to store that power and distribute it.
Right.
So, but it will be something that comes into fruition sooner or later, maybe midterm, like in 15 years.
I anticipate that we will hear more details about it with Master Plan Part 3.
Yes, I think that you're right, because he's been talking about this a lot.
Yeah. And he says that Master Plan Part 3 is all about scaling. And we know that Tesla products currently can, solar roof, battery, your power wall in your house, and then the mega packs feeding other buildings. That I think that we'll hear more about the plan to expand that whole system and that infrastructure with Tesla.
Absolutely. I think you're right.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. What do you think? Yeah. Cyber Rodeo? We'll hear something.
That's it. Maybe they'll announce.
All right. This one's just, we're getting into the likes here. So we got one from Massimo, which pretty much posts something that's a daily like for Elon, but pretty cool like breakdown of the human hand here. And he says that fingers don't have muscles apart from one little one, which are completely unrelated to motion. He says the 34 muscles that actually move human fingers are all located in the palm and forearm. It's pretty crazy. Just like it's almost like a engineering, robotics view, as well as just human biology. It's not. It reminded me of like Terminator when I saw the diagram here.
The diagram. Yeah. I really thought like, well, Elon liked this, so now is he going to found a robotics limb company like in Star Wars where Luke's hand was replaced?
Well, I mean, manufacturing the bot, I'm sure there's a lot of work going into things like this.
Oh, that's true. You're right. This is on his mind.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. And then last up here, we have Jared Isaacman saying, great to see 1062 vertical again. Such an exciting time for human spaceflight. And there is a picture here, right? Let's see if we can get to it real quick. There we go. And, yeah. Just
was this the one that launched him? I don't know if that was the same.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. That maybe it was the booster that put Inspiration 4 up into orbit.
Yes. And then, or is the one he's going up in? Is he going? He's not going up with them next month. Is that a different company?
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yes.
But there's like SpaceX employees, and then there's 4 other
Well,
people.
there's another private company that's going to the space station, and they're gonna build. Eventual goal is to build a new pod onto the space station. But they're going up in a couple. It's the first private visit to the space station, fully private,
Wow.
happening in, I think, in 2 weeks. And that was the one that Tom Cruise was originally going up with, but he's going next year supposedly now.
You know, that makes me think that did we miss a SpaceX launch last week? Because I don't remember one. But
There
things are
was
moving
one
fast,
the other
so-
day. Things are moving fast. It was another launch last week of satellites.
Good.
Yes. Oh, and we had the one with the smaller payload. Remember with
Yep.
the.
Yep, man.
Right. I know. Every
I
week.
can't believe it was just last week. It's
That's it.
It's why we're covering this stuff. So much
Yes.
happening in Elon world.
That's incredible.
So I think that'll wrap it up for today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
See you then.